Welcome to Meme Reads. Today we'll be covering r/slash entitled parents. This next post is brought to you by Ulfer. You want my dog? Well, I think it's fairly safe to assume I've lost a couple friends over this, but it wasn't me that did it. This weekend, a friend of mine asked me to keep an eye on her two kids while she and her hubby went away for the weekend for some couple time. Her mother was initially going to watch the kids, but she fell through on short notice. She called me at 3 p.m. on Friday to come over in 3 hours, and my friend knew I probably wasn't doing anything, which was both hurtful and accurate. I said sure. She has two kids, a girl who is 8 and a boy who is 5. They're good kids for the most part. The boy has a little bit of a snitching problem, and the girl has a sharing problem, but it's 2 days. So I show up Friday after work while my friend gives me the rundown, and her husband tells the kids that he'll beat them with their siblings if they're bad. They were unimpressed. The parents leave and it's just me and the kids in the house, and then it's immediate pandemonium. The brother snitches on her sister for taking an extra cookie, the sister cries to me that her brother touched her Switch, and I make the executive decision that they have way too much energy. And if they're tuckered out, hopefully they'll just chill. So I asked the kids to track down their bathing suits because we're going to my gym, which has a pool and a guest policy. I did let their mom know what they were up to before we left and asked if it was okay if I brought my dog over. She doesn't shed and is house trained. She said it was fine. Operation Pool was a great success, though the locker room got a bit dicey. That's a whole other story. We'll cover that here in a bit. Once everybody was appropriately tired, including me, we made a pit stop on the way back to the house to grab my pooch. He's extremely well behaved and loves kids, and both kids were immediately all about the Dexter, and Dexter was all about the kids. Here are the ground rules. No pulling on his fur, and he goes where he wants. Kids kind of struggle with the notion that a dog is not a toy. I obviously kept him out of places where he wasn't supposed to go, but I'm a grown-up. Allegedly. Miraculously, after the swim and chasing the dog around the house, the kids were left too pooped to pop, and both fell asleep after watching a Disney film on the TV. After the movie, I woke the kids up to trot off to bed, and didn't make them brush their teeth. For the record, the son did eat me under the bus when his mom called this morning. I told the kiddos that if they left their door open, Dexter might sneak in and give them cuddles. I increased the likelihood of this by sleeping on the couch and not giving him a spot. He expressed his displeasure with me by flouncing off and going into the boys' room to sleep. Great success. Saturday we went for a hike in the morning, had a nap, and then played ball with the dog, and generally had a pretty chill day. Diffused the sharing issue by explaining to the girl that the pup has feelings and wants just like any other person, and she can control him that way. She appeared thoughtful and then immediately started yelling at her brother for hugging the dog again, but at least she wasn't mad at the dog. I successfully heated up the casserole mom had left me for dinner, following her carefully laid out instructions. I admonished the kids to not give him people food and was soundly ignored. I did draw the lines at a couple morsels from each kid and put my foot down. More than that, he's gonna get the runs, and nobody wants that. That night, I made sure Sis got a turn by again hogging the couch and also closing the door to the boys' room, since he already got a turn. The girl was smug. The boy made me call his mom. Mom wasn't happy that my dog was in the kids' beds, but I did remind her that he doesn't shed and can't smell any worse than the kids, and her daughter might burn the house down with us inside if she didn't get a turn. Mom accepted defeat. Saturday night was again relatively peaceful, though toothbrushing did happen. Early Sunday morning, I got woken up by having a dog step on my testicles, which he's really good at, and he's mad at me for not leaving him any room. I made room. Apparently the girl tried to do something he didn't like, and he noped out of there. She wasn't happy about that, but was appeased by my pain enough to go back to bed. This morning was relatively chill. Some more playing with the dog and some team tug of war. And mom and dad got back around lunchtime and thanked me for keeping their kids in one piece. The kids said bye to the pup and there were tears, but I loaded myself up in my dog and went back home to enjoy the relative peace and quiet. Yeah, I wish it ended there. Maybe like an hour after I got home, I got a phone call from a very frazzled sounding mom with kids crying in the background saying she needs my dog now. I'm sorry, what? You don't need a dog, you need my dog. Like, I don't need to come back and visit you soon, you just want him? Well, the kids got so attached and they won't stop crying about missing the dog, and her husband don't have time for 2 kids and a puppy, and more guilting, including word vomit that had precisely 0 effect on me. Abso-fluffing-lutely not. Click. I'm still getting text about, quote, being reasonable, and you have time to train a new dog. 48 hours of free babysitting isn't enough. You want my dog too? Not in his lifetime. Update and clarification. The parents offered to pay me for my time over the weekend, but the rate for 2 days for full childcare was kind of a lot, and they don't have a lot of disposable income, and it was an emergency, and I had nothing better to do with my time, so I told them not to sweat it. My pup is chipped and is still sleeping off the big weekend, but he's not going anywhere solo, and I do have cameras up. I also texted my friend's husband this morning asking him what the heck happened, and why his wife wants my dog. He replied with a lot of question marks. Genuinely hoping sanity breaks out and we can move past this, but ain't nobody pup napping my dog. This is a picture of the dog in the story, and the user also posted the pool story. I got the kids signed in as guests for the evening and asked the girl a bit uncomfortably what the correct thing to do would be, given I was in charge of a boy and a girl. The girl at the front desk laughed a little at me and said the family locker rooms were down the same hallway as the women's locker rooms. It felt very, very odd walking down the forbidden hallway, but true to her word, there was two big doors, one that said families and one that said women. The boy really wanted to wander into the women's locker room, which got vetoed almost immediately. We get in there and there's stalls inside for changing, basically just a closet with a changing room door on it. Me being hyper aware of anything going on even slightly wrong in relation to seeing somebody else's child in a very, very bad place for misunderstandings, I decided that we'd take turns. The girl would go first, get out of her clothes, change into her suit, and then come hang out with me while her brother did the same thing. And when it was my turn, I'd best be seeing two pairs of ankles under the door the whole time, or somebody's getting left in the locker room hung by their bathing suit. Happily enough, nothing went wrong. On our end anyways. Unfortunately, while the girl was changing, a mom and her son came into the family locker room and looked confused. "Why aren't you in here with your son just standing there?" said she. "Oh, I'm just watching the kids and the sister is changing. They're not my children. Figured this was just safest for everybody," says I, thinking, oh god, no, please, it's Friday. She rears back in shock and raises her voice. "They're not your children?" Nope, I just borrowed them so their mom could get some alone time with their dad. At this point, the little dude is hiding behind me and the clothing rustling from the little girl has stopped. "Ma'am, I'm just trying to get them changed and into the pool. I can't take the little girl into the men's locker room," says I, thinking I'm not precisely comfortable in there. I can't imagine it would go well with the little girl.
This is a family locker room for families, not for babysitters who thought they were mature enough to watch two kids on their own. I'm getting you removed,"
she says, and then yanks her child from behind to go yell at somebody at the front desk. The boy tugged on my pants and then looked up at me. "I think that lady's crazy." I looked down at the little dude and nodded, but went shh and told the little girl to get changed pronto. The woman didn't come back in and the kids didn't wander off while I was getting changed. We had a great time at the pool and I didn't see the kid or the mom while we were in the pool or after. I don't know what happened and there was a different attendant at the desk when we left. "Man, LP, I am so sorry about your luck. You were just doing all the right things and then people still give you trouble. Like what are you doing? Like you asked what you should have done with the two kids because you were nervous. They told you what to do, go to the family locker room, you get in trouble, right? You said you could bring the dog over, you brought the dog over, now they're trying to steal your dog. Like you're just being a nice guy, doing the right thing, and people are trying to hound you. I'm sorry, man. At least you still have a super cute and super friendly dog." This next post is from Throwaway975320. "Karen called the cops on my service dog and accused me of being too young to be disabled again." So, I saw the Karen with her child again, but this time in Walmart while I was grocery shopping. I made the mistake of ignoring my dog when she was alerting me to my heart rate. I genuinely thought she just wanted the sandwich I was eating. Boy, was I ever wrong. I ended up really dizzy and out of breath and had to sit down in the corner of the store while she was doing deep pressure therapy. I must have been passed out on the floor for about 10 minutes. During that time, a staff member at Walmart came over to check on me and asked if I was alright. They gave me a free bottle of water as well, and I'm very appreciative of that. Anyways, when I was down, the same child again saw me from a distance and had another meltdown. The child's mom already explained to me last time that her daughter had autism. She was screaming and crying about my dog being there because she was terrified. I can understand why she may be scared because my dog is by no means small. She's a 115-pound female cane corso. Aside from alert and response, she's also trained for mobility assistance. Her breed isn't typically used as a service dog, but she's a natural. I got her as a pet, and she became the service dog I needed. She's a 100% good girl. This woman did not leave the store with her child that was having a meltdown. Instead, she had the audacity to call 911 on me. Eventually, the cops did show up, and she kept shouting that I was faking having a disability because I was too young to actually have a disability again. And also that it was illegal for me to have my service dog anywhere near food indoors, and that people like me are the reason that she has to suffer lockdowns. I'm Asian. Oof, that does come off a little bit racist from that lady, doesn't it? Eesh, that's bad. She said that the least I could do is be considerate and stay home away from everybody and keep my dog at home where it belongs. My dog was very clearly vested with tags that says it's a service dog. I showed the cops my medical note that I carry stating that I require a service dog. In the end, the manager banned the woman from coming into local Walmart for a year. The cops only gave her a warning for wasting their time and escorted her off the property. I'm really glad that she got a little more than a slap on the wrist for this because I feel like too many Karens get away with just BS like this. If you've gotten this far in the video, thank you so much for watching. If you really enjoy our content, please like, comment, and subscribe. Peace.